Hey everyone, it's Mr. Montgomery again, and today we are starting with Lesson 2 of Unit 1. So, if you guys remember the last video, if you happen to watch it, we were just adding numbers all the way up to 20. But we're staying right at 20 or below, we're not going above 20 at all. And today's lesson should look super duper familiar if you remember some math lessons from first grade, where you did doubles and then near doubles. All this really helps you to do is to start using some mental math. So I'm going to try to break this down as easy and simple as I can. Okay, so let's start off with 6 plus 6. I know they already gave it to us, but just bear with me. Okay, so if we have 6, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm just going to pretend I got some building cubes. So I got 6 there, and then another color, I'll make another 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we know that these two will make 12, right? We already know that because they tell us that. But now they're saying, well, how could you figure out 6 plus 7? Well, if we know 6 plus 6 is 12, 6 plus 7 is super, super close, right? The only difference is that the second digit is slightly bigger. But how much bigger is it than originally? Well, it's one more bigger, right? So we could just add one more cube, and by adding one more cube here, all we're doing is adding one more cube to that answer. So it's no longer going to be 12, it's going to be one more. So what's one more than 12? Well, it's going to be 13, right? That's all they're doing. Same thing if they were to switch it up and say, you know what? What is 6 plus 8? Well, if we already had, let's pretend we didn't even do the 6 plus 7. And it was just 6 plus 6 still, right? And we know that 6 plus 6 is 12. Well, 8 is also pretty close to 6 plus 6. It's just that the second number is a little bit bigger again. But how much bigger is 8 than 6? Well, I'm really hoping you're saying it's 2 more, right? We can just count it on our fingers, really, and just go 1, 2, or 7, 8, and then you got 2 fingers. And so really, if we just took the same cubes and we just add 2 more, we now have our answer. It's super close. It's just 2 bigger. So if my 8 is 2 bigger than 6, well, then you have to start thinking, okay, well, oh, kind of erased it. You start thinking, well, what's 2 bigger than 12 here? All you're doing is changing that ones place. And 2 bigger than 12, if you didn't count these at all, it's okay if you didn't, but 2 bigger than 12 is just 14. See how they're very close together in the answers? So we have 6 plus 6 is 12. One more, 6 plus 7 is 13. 6 plus 8 is 2 more, or it's 2 bigger, so it's 14. That's all they're really saying. So if you can figure out the doubles fact, or if you know your doubles facts, like 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 4 plus 4 is 8, 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 6 is 12, like we just said, 7 plus 7 is 14. Once you know your doubles facts, you can start just recalling those facts and then just adding 1 or 2 more to that number. That's it. That's all they're getting around to. But now, if you're really, really struggling with this, I don't want you watching this going, oh my gosh, my life is over. This is just impossible. How do they expect me to do all this stuff? This is just insanity. And, you know, I agree with you that if everyone expects you to do every single thing that we're teaching, that is insanity. Because if we're going to be I'm going to be super real with you guys. If you had to guess from 0% to 100%, every single thing that you're going to remember from the entire school year, how much do you think you're going to remember? Just from one lesson a day and stuff. It's 15%. I know, crazy number. And it's insane sounding. But that's if you never practice. You're only going to remember 15%. So you got to make sure that you're practicing. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. And worst case scenario, if this is just the craziest thing ever, well, guess what? You still have your old first grade tools, like your number line here. Okay? You always have your number line, so don't worry about that. Or if you don't have a number line, you can use a 120 chart. And if you really remember how to use your 100 chart, it's used just like a number line. All right? So if the new stuff that we're talking about sounds difficult, you always have these backup plans, like a number line, a 100 chart, your cubes if your teacher's giving you cubes. All right? So try your best, but in worst case scenario, use your number line if that's your preferred method. All right? That's all. But I do really want you to try your best with these because I want you to think of this as a brain exercise. I know that sounds super, super goofy, but your brain needs to exercise or else we just don't get any smarter. Okay? Just like your biceps need exercise to get bigger, your triceps need exercise to get bigger, your brain needs exercise so we can actually get smarter. Because if we don't exercise our brain, then we're not going to get smarter and we can't do way cooler stuff. All right? So, that is the whole idea behind today. And this is we're on page 9. I forgot to address that. But now we're going to continue this on page 10. All right, so here's what page 10 looks like. In case you're not sure if you're on the right page number, just check that number at the bottom, 10, right? All right, so let's continue with what we were talking about. We're talking about doubles facts and using that knowledge of doubles facts to solve other math equations that might be close, but then might look a little weird and confusing at first. But then when you give it a second, it just all makes sense. So, and throughout this lesson, guys, I'm just going to give you a heads up. I might do some touch math, which is a really nice, easy way to also help you guys out. So touch math is just for whatever number you're using, it has that many dots that you use to touch. So if I were to show you really quick, 1 has 1 dot. It kind of looks like a candle, right? And you just tap 1. If you're adding the number 2, it has 2 imaginary dots. And we tap 1, 2. So if we're adding these two numbers, get this, just tap those dots and count them. 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. That's all it really does. And for the number 3, it has 3 dots. 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the bottom. And then for the number 4, it of course has 4 dots, 1 at each point. And I'll go over this more and more through each lesson just to get you guys caught up, but I don't want to take up too much time on this. But it's something fun to practice, and it's something I actually picked up on my own before anyone even told me that it was a thing. It's something I used to just do to make math make sense in my head. And if I were to demonstrate this one more time for you guys, 3 plus 4, well, I just count all those spots, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 plus 4 is 7. That's all it is. Don't let it scare you. Okay, so let's start with number 1 here. They're showing us 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, cool. And if we didn't know that, you could always use a number line, right? I'll set one up here just in case we need it. Okay, it's going to be a short number line. So it's going to help us out with the first couple, but on number 4, we're going to have to be a little brave. Okay, so 2 plus 2 is 4, and now we see 2 plus 3. 3 is how much bigger than 2? Well, it's one more bigger, right? And so, you know what? Let me also draw you guys some cubes here. So here's 1, 2, and we have 1, 2. Sorry if this is looking a little cluttered up for you guys. We're going to work with it. So we have 2 plus 3. Well, 3 is just one more than 2, right? So we're adding a third cube. And so if we're just making that second number one more bigger, that just means we're making our answer one more bigger. So what's one more than 4? Well, it's 5. That's all. That's all they're doing. Okay? I know it sounds really, really goofy at first. It's one of those things where, like I mentioned before, our brain needs exercise. We need to get our brains working and moving, so that way everything can make a lot more sense as we go along. Okay, now we have our next doubles fact, which is 4 plus 4. If we need to, we can use the number line for this. Sorry if it's a little cluttered, like I said. Okay, so 4 plus 4. Well, if we find 4 here, right, that's our plot number, and then our second number is our jump number. And we make 1, 2, 3, 4. I land on 8. So now we know that 4 plus 4 is 8, right? That's our doubles fact. But with your doubles facts, what would be really, really great for you guys to do, and I know this is not going to sound fun. I know it's not going to, but just hear me out, okay? Hear me out. What would be awesome for you all to do is to make some really easy flashcards of just your doubles facts. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 4 plus 4, 5 plus 5, all those. And then just practice them once in a while with mom or dad. Or if you have extra time in the classroom, this makes it awesome. You ready for this? If you have extra time in the classroom and your teacher is just like saying, oh, well, do something, keep yourself busy, blah, 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 right? You can just take out those flashcards and you and a friend could actually practice your doubles facts. And the better you know your doubles facts, the better you're going to know all your other math equations. Okay, so now that we did this part, and I accidentally talked way too long, we got 4 plus 4, right, is 8. And now we see that we got 4 plus 5. But 4 and 5 are super close together, right? We see on the number line. So how many jumps apart is 4 from 5? Well, it's just 1. So if 5 is one more jump, one number bigger, that means our answer has to be one number bigger than 8. So what's one number bigger than 8? I'm hoping you're already writing this down. And it is 9. I'm hoping you were kind of yelling at the screen. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Okay? So let's jump to number 3 now. We have our doubles fact. 3 plus 3. Okay? We got our plot number 3. Make our little dot. But of course, don't draw on your Chromebook or laptop or phone, whatever you're using. Please don't do that. Just use your finger to point. And then our jump number is 3. So 1, 2, 3. And we know it's 6. So 3 plus 3 is 6. That's probably a doubles fact that we already knew, which is fine. Now we have to think about our near doubles fact. 3 plus 4. It's very similar to 3 plus 3, but it's a little different. But this bottom number is just a little different. So we have 3 and 4. How many jumps apart are they? One more, right? So if 4 is 1 more than 3, that means our answer has to be how many more than 6? Just one more. So 1 more than 6 is 7. It's right there. All right. Now the next one gets a little crazy. All right. I'm going to do something I don't like to do often. Oh, you know what? Oh, I got a better idea. Stick with me, guys. I know I'm saying that a lot today. Sorry. I feel like a broken record. We'll use cubes for this one. 4 and 5. Then I'll make my other set of cubes. Make 5 cubes. You can draw these with me if you want. Okay. So now all we're doing is saying, hey, check this out. We got 5 cubes. And then this other person's like, yo, 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 check this out. We got 5 cubes too. So let's combine them. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. So now we know that 5 plus 5 is 10. And now for our near doubles fact, we know 7, it's close to 5, but it's not quite the same, right? So how many jumps away is 5 from 7? Well, it's 2, right? 2 more. 2 more jumps, or 2 jumps away. So if 7 is 2 more than 5, that means our answer has to be 2 bigger than 10, right? 2 more than 10. And what's 2 more than 10? I'll tell you what, if you're not too sure, I'll draw 2 more cubes. And now tell me, what's 2 more than 10? It's 12. That's it. That's all we're doing, guys. Just take whatever number, however much more that near doubles fact is, your answer just gets that much bigger from the original answer. That is all we're doing. That is all we're doing. It is that simple. I promise you it's that simple. A lot of times when we see simple stuff like this, we tend to have this habit of overthinking and saying, no, there's no way. There's no way it could be that easy. But it is. I promise you it's that easy. So let's go ahead to page 11. And now we're going to do some you do practices, which means you're going to try first, and then I'm just going to help you out and let you double check some of the answers. I'm not doing all the work for you, just some of it. All right, so let's go ahead to page 11. All right, everyone, now we're on page 11. Again, we're just doing all the same stuff, and I gave you guys a number line here just in case you need it. Now, if you do need the number line, what I'm going to suggest to make sure you're giving your brain a good workout is to only use the number line for the first part of each problem, meaning the doubles facts, in case you don't know your doubles facts. I think that'd be a great tool for you to use for that. But when we do our near doubles, I want you to try to use a little mental math for that, okay? I don't want you just going straight to the number line again. I want you to try first. Then, if you're really, really struggling, then use the number line. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, you don't know what I'm doing. That's right, I don't know what you're doing, but I can tell you one thing that I tell all the kids I coach on the swim team, which is I feel so awful saying this because it's something my teachers used to say to me, and I used to hate it. The only person you're kind of hurting with this is yourself. That's all. Okay, that I know it's so cheesy. I hate that I even said it. I hate that I said it, but I did. So, oh well. Okay, so for number 5, I want you to do the doubles fact first, 6 plus 6, and then we'll reconvene after that. So just do 6 plus 6 first. We're going to do this in steps. Oh, and to also help speed things up, just make sure you hit that space bar to pause the video, then solve it. So that way the video is not like 50 minutes long. But if you're still watching the video, I'm going to go through the doubles fact answer. So 6 plus 6, well, we start on 6 and we make 6 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I land on 12 right there. So 6 plus 6 is 12. Now, I want you to think we have 6 plus 7. 7 is how much more than 6 was in the first equation. And then I want you to make your answer that much more. Okay, so try that on your own. Hit the pause button, hit the space bar, stop the video real quick, give it a shot, and then we'll keep going. Okay, if you're still watching a video, I'm assuming that you tried your best, you did the work, or maybe you just got it done really quick, which is awesome. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 6 plus 7 is close, but 7 is 1 more than 6, right? So it means our answer has to be 1 more, which is 13. And if you're telling yourself, you know what, this just looks weird, I don't trust it, let's double check for fun. My plot point is 6. I'll make 7 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I landed on 13. I know my answer is right, and that's it. So now this time, I want you all to try number 6 and do it completely on your own. Oh, and hit that space bar. Hit pause the video while you work on this one. Okay, so if you're still watching the video, I'm guessing that you already gave these a try. And I'm going to go through this a lot faster this time. All right, 5 plus 5, doubles fact is 10. And if you're not sure, you have 5 fingers on each hand, and you have 10 fingers, right? Easy way to remember that. So we have 10. Now 6 is close, but it's 1 more, which means our answer has to be 1 more than 10. 1 more than 10 is 11. That's it. I know, super, super terrifying, right? Super crazy? No, it's not crazy. Okay, so now I want you to give number, you know what, 7, we're going to kind of skip. I know it's a little different, but again, it's a near doubles fact. Whatever answer you get for the first part, you're just making the second answer just a little bit more, okay? But the reason why I'm skipping it is because sometimes seeing the top to bottom form really confuses a lot of kids. So I do want to make sure we take a few moments to practice this other method of writing these equations, okay? So I'll tell you what, let's do number 12. I'll give you guys, we'll do this one kind of together, and then I'll have you do 13 completely on your own, okay? So first part, 3 plus 3. If it helps, you can put like your own little plus sign in between them. And first, I just want you to solve 3 plus 3 really quick. Pause the video, solve it, take your time. Alright, now if you're still watching the video, I'm hoping you tried it and you double checked your work. 3 plus 3, well, that's easy. Start at 3, make 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. I land on 6 up here. So 3 plus 3 is 6. Now, our near doubles fact is 3 plus 5. Now, we know this 3 is exactly the same, but the 3 doesn't just slide over there, right? It doesn't quite do that. So it's a little bit bigger. How much bigger is 5 compared to the original 3? It's 2 more, right? It's 2 more bigger. So that just means we have to make our answer 2 more bigger. So what's 2 more than 6? Well, it's 8. So 3 plus 5 is 8. So now using that same strategy, I want you to try number 13 completely on your own. I want you to do the first part and the second part. Oh, and pause the video first, and please take your time. There is never a rush when the video is paused. Alright, so if you are still watching the video, or if you hit the spacebar again, that means it's playing, and it means you gave it a try, and you tried your best, and maybe even double-checked your work, and you're like, yeah, I already know that's correct. Cool. Alright, so 5 plus 5, we already talked about that earlier. That is 10. Alright, and we know that this 5 just slides over, but this 5, whoops, this 5 does not just slide over, right? It's not the same. So how much more is this 7 compared to the original 5? Well, it's 2 bigger, which means our answer has to be 2 bigger than 10. So what's 2 more than 10? Well, you can look at your number line if you really need to. Go 10. What's 2 more? 12. So 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay? That's all we're really doing. If you know how much bigger, you just go to what the answer is also on the number line, and then just jump that many more times, and that will still give you the answer as well. Okay, guys? So go ahead and try the remainder of the equations on this page. So I want you to try 7. I want you to try number 8. I want you to do number 9, 10, 11, 14, and of course try 15 as well. Okay? 15 looks scary, but think about your doubles and near doubles facts and how much more this answer is. I know it's a little trickier, but I really think it's going to help you guys out, especially if you get that one right. You're just going to be so blown away by yourself. It's going to be awesome. All right, so that's it for today, guys. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it makes a lot more sense. I'm hoping this is less scary than it was maybe 20 minutes ago. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you next video.